Okay, if everybody doesn't have the handout there in the manila folder on the horseshoe table, make sure that everybody has one. They are two-sided. And we're going to begin with the persuasion map. So flip your sheet to the persuasion map. If everybody doesn't have one yet, just push pause and then come back when we're ready. Alright. Once you have your persuasion map, you're going to write your name and you're going to put the title. The title that you write on this paper is the issue that you're going to be dealing with. For my example, I've put down pet adoption as the issue that I want to kind of look into and think about doing my PSA for. In the very first box, this is your goal or thesis. This is going to drive everything else that we're doing. And so, what is it that I want to accomplish with this PSA? What is it that I want to get through to my audience? And so, for mine, I wrote down, I want to make people aware of what they support when they buy a puppy mill puppy, and encourage adoptions as an option. And it gets a little bit more difficult on each one of these levels. And so when I go to my reasons, why do I feel that that's important, or why do I want to make this goal? So for mine, my main reason number one, I listed that people don't really know where puppies come from, or understand what puppy mills are. And number two, there's this abundance of unwanted dogs in shelters and rescues, and a lot of those shelters are kill shelters. So if they're not adopted, then they're euthanized. And main reason number three, pet adoption finds these needy dogs, these quote-unquote unwanted dogs, a home, and it keeps money out of the pockets of a puppy mill. And the last part, your facts and your examples, is probably the most difficult. And if by now I'm hoping that you've done some research and that you have some understanding of your issue, because you're going to need a little bit in order to be able to kind of put your facts and examples out here. Depending on how knowledgeable you are your subject, it may be a little easier. But so if I look at my main reason number one that I have here on my sheet, it says people don't know where puppies come from or understand what puppy mills are. And as far as my three facts and examples that I've written down, I put that most pet stores actually buy their puppies from puppy mills. There are a lot of breeders that will advertise themselves as not a puppy mill, even though technically they are. And the last one has everything to do with that puppies that come from these mills are treated inhumanely and often have health problems beyond because of the conditions in which they're raised. My second main reason for the abundance of unwanted dogs in shelters and the high kill shelters, if you do a quick search on something like, say, petfinder.com, you find a lot of just local dogs that are looking for a home. Only 10% of owned dogs in the United States actually come from a shelter. And there are 3 million dogs, 3 to 4 million dogs every year are euthanized. Main reason number three, adoption finding the needy dogs at home and keeping the money out of the puppy mills. One, buying a mill puppy perpetuates that cycle. If you feel like, oh, I'm going to rescue him from a puppy mill, so I'll buy him, but you just put that money back into the puppy mill so that more puppies get put into that situation. Fees are usually less at a shelter, and there's a statistic that says something about 25 to 30% of shelter dogs are purebred. So it's not like you can't find a purebred dog in a shelter. You can, or one from a rescue, and those fees are usually less. And the last factor example that I've put down for my third one was that any money paid to the mill doesn't help other dogs. When you pay these fees and adoptions to a shelter, that money goes to keeping the shelter open and helping new dogs. It opens a spot for another needy dog, as opposed to a mill that just puts money into the mill owner's pockets. So as you're working through this map, you're going to have to put some thought into it, and it's going to take a little bit of time. Before you flip to the back side, which is your PSA outline, I want you to have this front part thoroughly filled out. And then when the majority of you are ready for it, go ahead and come back up here and I'll have another video.